Finally tonight here, our exclusive visit with Pope Francis here at the Vatican today. We shared with you his message before his historic visit to the United States. Tonight here, we take you along part of the route he will take, where he will visit when he arrives in America.
Well, we are now less than a month away from the Pope's arrival in Philadelphia, and the city wants local businesses, big and small, to be ready for the throngs of visitors. Mayor Nutter and leaders with the World Meeting of Families paid a special visit to some of those businesses that plan to be open today. And Action News' John Rollins has more.
The mayor handing out "I'll be there" buttons. The papal visit marketing campaign hit the streets today to drum up some buzz for the papal visit, despite earlier reports of businesses which could not or would not open because of security impediments during the papal stay. The message today: the city will be open for business, including one of its oldest pubs, McGillen's Ale House.
McGillen's tweeted, "If we have to have the beer delivered by drones, we will be open on the papal weekend." Now, don't tell the Secret Service that, because I know drones are not going to be allowed.
Wawa, which has more than a half dozen stores inside the restricted traffic box, is working out a resupply plan with officials.
Conversations seem to be heading that direction, so we're optimistic it's gonna happen.
The visit weekend not a sellout yet. There are still rooms and transit passes available. No one this morning could say how many charter coaches have signed up yet. They did say the number would be nowhere near the 10,000 bus figure some had projected.
We know that thousands of people are coming on buses. The exact number was never that high, but we will get you the correct number.
As of late today, that charter bus number was apparently still being calculated. Event organizers say, though, they are still planning on between 1 million and 1.5 million visitors here in Center City for when the Pope is here.
Good evening, everyone. Pope Francis's historic visit to the U.S. only 3 weeks away, and right here in Western New York, there is tremendous excitement as people make plans to be a part of his big trip. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Ed Riley is here tonight with more. Ed.
Well, Jeff, Pope Francis has a busy itinerary when he visits the U.S. at the end of September. He's addressing the United Nations, speaking to Congress, and holding Mass to pray for families. And many Western New Yorkers are now very busy making plans to be part of all the big events.
But it's exciting for me, and it's a blessing.
When Pope Francis addresses a joint session of Congress, Sister Mary Jonas, the director of the Response to Love Center in Buffalo, will be one of the VIPs in the audience.
It's about going there and representing the people of Buffalo, New York.
Sister Jonas got the special invitation thanks to Congressman Brian Higgins.
I think Congress needs to sit back and listen. I think the Pope has great wisdom. He will have a great message about inclusiveness and about the people that we all serve.
While Sister doesn't know how close she will be to the Pope, she is praying for a chance to have a personal meeting.
I sure would like a hug or a handshake. That would be okay.
For the Franciscans and students at St. Francis High School, having a Pope with the name Francis is a big deal.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited for it. I'm like a kid in a candy shop.
And the school is sending a charter bus with students, staff, and parents to see Pope Francis when he visits Philadelphia.
Just to kind of be in that presence for a little bit, because he's just, rock star Pope.
Not everyone is able to make the trip to see the Pope in either New York City or Philadelphia, and that's why a donor is making it possible for St. Leo the Great Parish in Amherst to now install this extra-large, high-definition projection screen inside the church.
And with the Holy Father on the large screen, it'll be almost like he's right here with us.
The church can hold 1,200 people, and on September 27th, they will have a chance to watch a live broadcast of the Pope's Mass from the World Meeting of Families.
We're inviting people from all over the diocese to come to St. Leo's to pray with the Holy Father for families.
Pope Francis has consistently preached about the needs of the poor, and people attending the viewing of the closing Mass at St. Leo the Great are being asked to bring a non-perishable food item to help the needy. And 7 Eyewitness News will also be there to cover Pope Francis as he makes his trip to the United States. Ed Riley, 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Ed. In the meantime, Pope Francis himself making history at the Vatican today. He held the first ever virtual audience via satellite, speaking with Americans and taking questions. ABC World News Tonight anchor David Muir moderating at the Vatican. For those who joined in, it was an unforgettable experience.
I guess I had to do it since it's the Pope.
That was beautiful. And I think on behalf of everybody present, because I represent all of us.
This prayer cross will be the focal point of the World Meeting of Families Youth Congress. It was handcrafted by the students and staff at Mercy Vocational High School in North Philadelphia. Young people from around the world will be invited to write notes of love and petition to Jesus on colorful pieces of paper. The paper will then be adhered to the sides of the cross. When the World Meeting of Families comes to an end, the Mercy prayer cross will be permanently placed on the school's campus.
Our journey to the Vatican and our visit today with Pope Francis. But the Pope's journey is just beginning. In less than a month now, Pope Francis will arrive in the U.S., first to our nation's capital, meeting President Obama at the White House, and doing something no Pope has done before, giving an address to a joint meeting of the United States Congress. Then on to New York City, the mural already going up, Welcome, Pope Francis. Evening prayer at St. Patrick's Cathedral, addressing the United Nations General Assembly, and a Mass at Madison Square Garden. And then to Philadelphia for the World Meeting of Families, stopping at Independence Hall. A chance to meet Americans and talk to them face to face. As we know, he's already communicating on Twitter. 22 million followers, one of his most popular tweets, inequality is the root of social evil. A message these students here in Rome say he'll bring to America.
Do you think that this Pope is preparing a message for America?
I don't think he's going to hold back, and I hope he doesn't hold back.
Income inequality, immigration.
Income inequality, immigration, racial inequality especially, that's a huge issue right now. He's a voice for those issues right now.
And we met up with American tourists here, couples in St. Peter's Square, excited about seeing the Pope back in America. So different, they say, from his predecessors.
What is it about this Pope?
He likes common people.
He's just so friendly and outgoing, just seems like the people's Pope.
The People's Pope. We heard it from so many Americans here. And once asked about what he misses most since his papacy began, Pope Francis said being able to walk tranquilly on the streets and going to a pizzeria to eat a good pizza. Pope Francis missing his trips to the pizzeria, but preparing for his trip now to America.
And the NYPD is sharing some of its strategies for keeping Pope Francis safe while he's in the Big Apple.
Fox 5's Lisa Evers joins us now to tell us about the security measures that they'll be putting into place. Lisa.
Well, Stephen Derry, we're getting some fresh insight into the NYPD's overall strategy for protecting the Pope during his visit here. And while security is their top priority, so is making sure the public can participate as much as possible in this historic trip.
Protecting His Holiness Pope Francis during his visit to New York in September is a massive undertaking just by itself. But it won't be the only major security concern of the NYPD at this unprecedented time, says Commissioner William Bratton.
Unprecedented in the sense that we have an extraordinarily large UN delegation coming in. We have the Pope coming in for several days after leaving Philadelphia and Washington, and the security concerns as it relates to that. And then as the Pope is leaving, simultaneously, the President of the United States will be coming in.
The Pope's visit, combined with these other events, has prompted Homeland Security to declare this a national security level event, which will also provide the NYPD and city with federal resources. NYPD Deputy Commissioner for Counterterrorism John Miller explains.
In today's day and age, you have the threat and specter of terrorism. So we're going to have a significant deployment of uniformed personnel, a significant counterterrorism overlay on the part of the Intelligence Bureau and the Counterterrorism Bureau, and a very significant partnership with the Secret Service.
The NYPD officers we see on the streets will be out in full force. That's a given. But there's also a lot of coordination and planning that's been going on without losing sight of the special nature of the Pope's visit.
We're going to work very hard to make sure that as many people as we are able to actually get to see His Holiness while putting layers of security in and around that.
Now, the NYPD is not just coordinating with the Secret Service and other law enforcement agencies. They're also working with building owners and transportation and communication specialists so that the city will continue to function during this important time.